Right, mate. If you explain how we met and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I met Connor. He sent me an email a few years ago um, that I've later found out he sent to most of the gyms in Gloucester. Uh, and basically saying, can I have some experience of coaching? And I just said, yep, sound, come and meet me. And then we had a meeting at the gym. He had a look round. And like all coaches here, he just came in and did some coaching with me. And to be fair, has never looked back since. So, yeah, that's how I met you. In terms of myself and how I got to own the gym, I used to run boot camps around Gloucester. So I had a van, a load of kit in the back of it. I was a postman at the same time to pay the bills, and just used to hire out halls and host boot camps on fields. Did that for a few years, built a bit of a following, and then was lucky enough to meet someone who wanted to invest with me to open our first space. And most of those members of the boot camp obviously became the members of the first gym that I owned. And yeah, we're now on uh, space number two. Uh, Much better, like
Looking
ground
gym.
floor. Yeah, like ground floor for what we do is obviously perfect. And the first space was on the first floor, which was a bit of a problem, a bit of an issue, but it was what it was. Kind of made it work, and it was a step to what we've got now, and hopefully this is also a step to what we'll have later on down the line.
100%. What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far then? Owning a gym, being a coach, what is the biggest lesson you've learned?
I think although being a gym owner of a gym like this and being a coach within a gym like this is quite a personal thing with people, I think ultimately the biggest lesson I've learned over the years is not to take things too personally. It can be like soul destroying if you uh, do take things too personally, and it can really like eat you up and stuff. And ultimately, although it's a very intimate gym where we haven't got a huge amount of members and everyone knows everyone's name, uh, things happen in life, and members aren't members forever. They can be members for a long time. I've had some members still now from the initial days of the boot camp. So you're talking like 15 years. Um, but ultimately, people will come and go. And I think in the initial stages, I was in the mindset of I'll retain everybody. So that's a big lesson that has taken me many, many years to come to terms with.
Yeah, I think that plays a role even like for just coaches, not necessarily gym owners as well. Like, well, gym owners as well. Like I think, see, I haven't owned a gym, but I think my coaching got better when I learned to not take things personally. Like even just on the floor, in the thick of it, if you're taking things personally when people are unhappy or maybe a little bit rude to you, or maybe they don't want to listen, it isn't personal. They've probably
Yeah,
got big things going on in their life and
yeah,
hard struggles because that's another shocker. When you're coaching someone, you find out something about them personally, you're like, wow, I would have never guessed that. So I think that definitely helps someone like me, like thinking about not taking things personal because it isn't, but it is. But it's
yeah. There's a big thing with that, isn't there? With the whole mental, like people's mental state and training. Like obviously, there's a massive link, and I think in terms of a coaching role, not necessarily gym owner, but a coaching role, like part of that is just to make people happier and
yeah,
better. And as part, like obviously, long term, we do want to get them fitter, but I think in the immediate, making them happier is a journey towards that. So like using your character and your personality to make people's day a little bit better is a big part of coaching, especially again in a gym like this where you've got quite a tight knit group, and like any session, like you're potentially with 12 people, but quite often less than that. That's a big part of our job as well, not just to be
100%.
one size fits all coaching. Like, as you said, people come in with different issues, and it's our job to like try and help them train alongside those.
Yeah, 100%. So what do you think we need more of in coaches in general? Like, what sort of traits do we need to see more of? What do you think? What do you think the fitness industry, specifically like our kind of side, obviously not like bodybuilding, but like specifically closer to CrossFit stuff, general conditioning stuff, strength work. What do you think is lacking from coaches? We need more of.
So there's tons of skills in being a coach, isn't there? But I think ultimately you have to care, and you have to put other people's training and training experience above your own. I think you can be a great athlete alongside a great coach as well. But when it comes down to it and being on the floor in the thick of it, like you just said, you ultimately have to put them first. So selflessness,
I
yeah,
think
and just caring.
I think there's an easy test for that as well. It's like, what sort of feeling do you get when you help someone get a PB, and what sort of feeling do you get when you get your own
Yeah,
PB?
yeah,
And if the feeling's really far apart, then maybe it's not. Maybe you don't have the care you,
yeah,
like you should, because obviously everyone's got to be selfish to some extent, and like
100%.
you've put your own work in, so it's like you'll be happy with yourself, probably slightly more. But if you're not getting a humongous buzz, that is pretty similar to what you get for yourself for someone else. I don't.
Yeah.
I think maybe I don't know if you can teach Karen. Do you think you can teach Karen?
No, I don't think so. I think there's certain traits that are learnt young, and I think at the point you get to a coaching age, you're going to be an adult, and if you don't care at that point, then yeah, there's probably you probably got other strengths and other good traits.
Yeah,
But that is a big one for a coach. You can't be a great coach and a coach for that can be a good coach for lots of different types of people if you don't care
I
ultimately.
agree. I agree.
Um, yeah, so that's probably the biggest one. There are obviously. Do you remember that trend that went around where coaches, obviously popular for my um, was lots of job roles under being a coach? Yeah,
Yeah,
trend
yeah,
popular.
yeah.
I just think it's so obvious, isn't it? Like I think it happens in all walks of life. Like no one is only their job. People do an array of roles within their job role. But
Yeah.
yeah, for a coach, for sure, there's many strings to your bow, and like um, you're kind of constantly spinning lots of plates being a coach and being a gym owner. Don't even get me started, mate. It's even more. But yeah, you're constantly spinning lots of different plates and trying not to let any of them fucking fall off completely, right?
Yeah, 100%. So I'll got one more question, and then we'll go through some quick fire ones.
Yeah,
Now the last sort of pretty big question is, obviously when I emailed you, you were the only gym that got back to me, luckily enough. So I've got to thank you massively for that, because you pretty much changed my life. Not really sure what I would be doing if I wasn't doing that. I reckon I would be in the industry somewhat, but I don't know where. But what would you give? Yeah, what would you give for a person starting out, kind of where I was, kind of where you would have been? What
yeah.
advice would you give to them to get to where they want to be, i.e., owning a gym, being on the floor and being confident to coach, helping people? What do you think is the most important thing they need to do, and how to get there?
Yeah, so I think specifically like to ultimately be a gym owner, I think once you start out, you must have like a certain set of values that you think um, you can roll out into your gym and that a lot of people will buy into. And I
Yeah,
think throughout owning a gym, the landscape of the industry has changed quite a bit, it will continue to change. But ultimately, behind how we appeal to the general population, those morals should stay within the gym. Because if they don't, then the gym will not be what the gym owner intended when they first started out. And
yeah,
I think if you have any inkling of owning a gym, obviously that'll probably mean being a coach and a head coach of it. Um, then you should have those values in place. And like for
yeah,
me, the big game changer was CrossFit. Um, I've never been like a world beater in terms of an athlete, but I feel like I had a really good understanding of the methodology of CrossFit, and I truly believed in, for a lot of people, it would have been a really good way to train. I think motivation to train, like the fact that CrossFit is varied, it keeps interest levels high. It's simply not do a load of sets and reps. It's a lot more than that. You learn skills, you build strength quickly, you build your fitness quickly. And I think people like that instant, like whoever joins this gym, if they aren't from a background of doing it already, they instantly get better, quicker, faster. Do you know what I mean? Like
I
if
agree.
they come in like 2 or 3 times a week, they'll see that initial climb, and people love that. And that's
Yeah,
what this sort of training gets.
100%. No, I agree. I agree with you completely, mate. I think you've got to have a big buy-in, haven't you? And it kind of goes back to the first thing we mentioned, which is just caring. Like I,
Yeah.
I honestly think that, like for me, knowing how much I care about helping people, if I didn't have that, it's like pointless. It doesn't matter if I know if I've got the most education in the world, the most knowledge around fitness and strength and training, it wouldn't matter because like you wouldn't put it across in a good enough way to help people, a digestible way for people to actually take on board. But we're gonna go on to some quick fire questions,
Yeah.
really quickly to finish. So, what is your biggest gym it?
Just ego. So lifting too heavy and then fucking moaning about being injured.
I actually reckon it's moaning about being injured.
Yeah.
100%. You've got to be
Yeah.
moaning about being injured. Right. Favorite movement in CrossFit?
Bar muscle up.
Least favorite?
Wall walk. Wall climb.
Ooh, good one. Marmite, level hate.
Hey,
Oh, disgusting.
who am I?
What is your favorite? What's your favorite meal?
Steak.
Good lad. That is solid. And are you a pre-workout man? Oh,
No.
no.
Wow,
No.
coffee.
Coffee, yeah,
A
yeah.
good black, a good black coffee, mate.
Multiple. Right. We'll finish on that, mate.
All right, sound buddy.